Momodi is waiting to brief you on your task. A petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now.
Gods almighty, another second under that sun I would have been set afire. A tankard of ale, if you'd be so kind.
Excellent timing, Papa Shan. It just so happens that the adventurer who'll be handling your petition is here.
So this strapping young lad is the much-lauded adventurer, is he? Marvelous, marvelous. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, good sir. I am Papa Shan, formerly of the Sultan's Sworn. I thank you for agreeing to lend us your aid.
Mayhap you'd like to appraise Raide of his mission.
Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at the Almagina & Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at the Copper Bell mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are the clan known as the Hekatasharis, fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Thorn dynasty. Alas, it seems they have managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where miners ply their trade. The creatures are justifiably angry about the treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site.
And it's no wonder they're angry. Didn't the Thorn dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago?
You know your history well, my lady. The people of that age used the Hekatasharis to work their mines. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will. But as often as the way of such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the Hekatasharis, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels. So it was that the great giant revolt was entered, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock.
Well now, that's got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copper Bell in the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. It said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rising demand for building materials. Like it as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Gods, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. That's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething.
Indeed, that makes them dangerous to us all. There will be no mining at Copper Bell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is a task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. Gods bless you. I fear you might have reservations, but I assure you it is for the best.
In case you don't know, Copper Bell mines are in western Thanalan. Do take care, you hear?
One last thing before you depart. An employee of Amagina & Sons is presently at the quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copper Bell mines well. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. Looking for Painted Mesa? You found him. So you're the adventurer who's volunteered to deal with the mess down in Copper Bell, are you? You've got guts, mate. I just hope you've got the skills to go with them, 'cause things ain't pretty down there. The Hekatasharis have left the place in the right state, and nearly a week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copper Bell was old when the second Ul'dah dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been the shortage of materials needed for the building effort, the concern would have never thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could survive being buried under a mountain's worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong! Our miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in a company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery will grind for a halt for want of aught to build with. Stored torches keeping watch over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way in. The hope of the nations rests on you, friend. Best of luck. I've been an adventurer for long years and bore witness to many of a pivotal moment in history. Though the times may have changed, the essence of our trade has not. Adventuring has ever been a quest for self-betterment through challenges freely faced, and ever shall it remain so. As an adventurer becomes more experienced, he will naturally acquire a love of justice and an understanding of spirit of self-sacrifice. Such experience cannot be measured in any tangible way, yet it most assuredly shapes who we are, grounded as it is in the decisions we have made on our journey, and their consequences, good or ill. I sense a light within you, young one, and it tells me that you are destined for greatness.
We found the Dolorous Bear and his entire party dead. The giants were thorough in their work. Judging by their tracks, it would seem they tried to rush a horde of the creatures. I cannot say sure what drove an experienced crew like theirs to throw caution to the wind, but I do have my suspicions. We are all our own worst critics, and the desire to better past achievements can rob us of good sense. Thus do we become more given to recklessness. While it is important to have goals, one must not fixate upon them to the exclusion of all else. Do so, and one will surely pay the price, as Dolorous Bear and his comrades did this day.
There's been an incident inside Copperbell Mines. We are here to ensure that the effects are contained, but for your own safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. What? You're the adventurer who's volunteered to quell the heteronachiris? I didn't think that Papashan would be able to find someone quickly, if at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you see them, the better. Make ready the best you can and enter at will.
It's so cool and damp, you never guess the mine is in Thanolin. Taste my axe.
Make it ready, everyone.
No fire sand. Perhaps there's more in the other room. By the 12, what is that?
Here I go. Slaves no more! Free! Free! Masters must pay! Masters must die! Never again and never! At last, their leader shows himself.
Ah, the Conqueror of Copper Bell returns. Thanks to you, our mining operations can resume, and Ul'dah will have the materials she needs to rebuild. The entire nation's in your debt, friend. I'll share the good tidings with Papa Sean next time I see him. As for you, you'll want to report to Momodi. It'll do the women well to see you alive and in one piece.
No!
Shut your mouth, you thieving little swine. You stole from me. Don't even think to deny it.
Please, sir, I didn't steal nothing. I bought this, paid with me own coin.
You what rot? You refugees are all the same. Couldn't afford maggoty mole meat, much less a choice cut of dodo. I'm gonna say it one more time. Give back what you stole, or I'll make you wish you never set foot in this town. By rights, I should turn you over to the brass blades, you know. Help keep the streets safe for law-abiding citizens. But I'm a reasonable man. If you agree to serve me in whatever capacity I require, the authorities needn't hear of your crime.
But I ain't done nothing wrong. 12 is my witness. Please, Avenger, help me. I beg of ye. I swear on my mother's grave I didn't steal nothing. I bought this coin with I'd save. I only wanted to treat my children to a decent meal.
And who the hells are you when you're at home? The dog's master? I had enough of this mama's farce. You lot, teach them a lesson.
I'll take care of this. The rest of you can watch. The bad adventurer. I should have stopped at the Seventh Veil. Stop bloody guapping and give me a hand, will ye? Booger, booger, booger!
I get paid enough for this.
Hey, where the hell do you think you're going?
Thank you, kind adventurer. Thank you thrice over.
I'd swear there are more refugees than when I looked last.
And you wouldn't be mistaken.
But it's been 5 years since the calamity. Why are they only coming here now?
It's simple, really. While a number of hamlets survived the immediate aftermath of the calamity, many more were no longer able to support their communities. The residents found their lands had either been rendered barren or cut off from trade routes, and the problems like those aren't easily solved. Though they tried to make the best of it, it was only a matter of time before they were forced to abandon their homes and seek a new life in the city.
I see. But the calamity affected the whole realm, didn't it? Is the same thing happening in other cities?
If the talk is true, yes. Though perhaps our situation is more pronounced, Ul'dah has a reputation for being prosperous, so it's natural that the refugees would try their luck here first.
My heart goes out to them, it truly does, but I'd be lying if I say I wasn't apprehensive. I hope their presence doesn't foment lawlessness in the city.
Well, if things do take a turn for the worse, we always have the immortal flames. I dare say the brass blades would welcome their help.
The heroes who fought the Garlean Empire patrolling the streets for riffraff?
It may well come to that. Impoverished and desperate as they are, you may be sure that some of the refugees will turn to crime. You know what this place is like. If you've no coin, you've no hope. What will become of our city? Not all refugees are bad, mind you. Some are able to find employment and lead honest lives.
Dodo tenderloins! Get your dodo tenderloins! Guaranteed cheapest in Thunderland! Thank you for your custom, madam. Please come again.
Looking around, you think Ul'dah was well on its way to recovery. But peer through the veil of prosperity, and you'll see no end to misery and suffering.
Sir? Are you alright?
What now? You mean to threaten a defenseless citizen? What? Sorry buy that meat, you say? That's absurd!
Aye, as did I. Leave the poor woman alone, you damnable vulture.
Who said that? Ugh, I'll overlook this, but just this once.
God's bless you, adventurer. If you hadn't come along when you did, who knows what that monster might have done. I don't bear thinking about. Ever the selfless hero, I see. It has been a while, adventurer. I have been watching you closely ever since you flew out of Limsa Lominsa. You discharged your duty as the Admiral's personal envoy with admirable humility, and you have displayed unfaltering courage in the face of danger ever since. Whensoever you came upon those in need, you gave them succor with no thought of personal gain. In summary, you have demonstrated all the qualities we seek in an adventurer. For reasons I cannot well explain, your every deed seems invariably to serve the general good, whether you mean it or not. Is it a happy knack, and one that speaks volumes for your character? Yet for all your admirable qualities, it is your gift that intrigues me the most. I speak of the visions you experience, visions like the one you had mere moments ago, if I'm not mistaken. I can provide you with the means to understand them. An acquaintance of mine is blessed with the selfsame talent, you see. If you so desire, I can introduce you to her. She and I fight for a common cause, a cause which would greatly benefit for your support. If you would agree to lend us your strength, we should be glad to do all within our power to aid you in your personal endeavors. Think on my offer a while. Should you decide to accept it, pray speak with Momodi. The proprietress of the Quicksand is a close friend and ally of ours. Inform her that you have been chosen by the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and she will tell you where to find us. Scenes like that are becoming ever more common, I'm afraid. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, you'll probably be alright. Saying that, if you ever go find yourself in a spot of bother, come and see me. Just don't go pestering me every time you graze your knee, eh? Of course, I do enjoy hearing the tale of a gentleman's woes with the womenfolk from time to time. Ah, Raide, sorry to keep you waiting. I was just providing guidance to a fresh-off-the-carriage adventurer. But gods, it's good to see you safe and well. To look at you, no one would ever guess you've been hard at it with giants in the dark. You're every ilm the adventurer Mion said you'd be, Raide. The station master will be overjoyed when he hears the news. Oh, before I forget, there's a lass here who wants a word with you. Didn't actually know your name, but hearing her description, I knew who she meant right away. Thank you for sparing the time. I realize you don't know me, but I've been longing to speak with you for a while now. My name is Edda. I'm an adventurer like you, though I'm not very good at being one, if truth be told. Anyway, I was adventuring with my friends in Gridania when... I'm sorry, we were in Gridania when the leader of our party was killed. His name was Avery, and he and I were to be wed in the spring. You may not remember him, but to say that he remembered you would be an understatement. He would sing your praises from dawn to dusk. He saw you for what you are, you see, an adventurer's adventurer, and swore that he would be like you one day. I believe that he would have succeeded had a fiend not robbed him of the chance. Since that day I have long thought hard about giving up adventuring. But when I think of the man you are, of all you achieved, I find that I am inspired just as Avery once was. And so I've decided to start again as an adventurer. I'll go back to the village of my birth and begin my training anew. But I wanted to meet you first, to ask your name. RaideDuku, I shan't forget. Thank you, RaideDuku. I pray we meet again. Fare thee you well. Adventuring can be a cruel, bleeding business. Time was, I didn't know why anyone would bother. When they first asked me to take charge of the guild here, I didn't want aught to do with you lot. Thought it'd be right pain in the arse looking after you all. But against my better judgment, I decided to accept the post, and I'm full glad I did. I feel privileged to be a part of your lives. And that goes double for yours, Raide. Eh? What did you say? You want to know about the scions of the Seventh Dawn? They're beginning to move in earnest, then. Listen, Raide, the scions ain't no ordinary folk, and the work they do ain't no ordinary work. I know full well how capable you are, but even you would think twice about attempting some of the stuff they do. Knowing that, if you're still certain you want to get involved, I'll tell you what I can.